Hi, this is Karima from Hijabi Globetrotter, and I'm here with my lovely sister Firdaus.
Hi. Hello.
So today we're going to talk about finding jobs in New York. I talked about that earlier, but I always want to give live examples of what it's like to actually look for jobs and like people that have gone through that. And this right here is a perfect example. My sister Firdaus came all the way from Louisiana, and at that time she didn't have a job. It took her about like a year, right?
Almost a year.
Yeah, almost a year to get a job, and she listened to her big sister. I gave her tips and tricks for getting jobs in New York, and right now she just got an offer with an investment bank, and I'm pretty proud of her. But yeah, I'm gonna share with you some of those tips on what to do when you come to a big city like New York. So let's get started.
Awesome.
Yeah, so Firdaus, tell us, what did you study in college?
Alrighty, well, thank you Hijabi Globetrotter for having me here today. I'm excited to share, my journey, ups and downs, but if you want to get details, you can always use the resources that Hijabi Globetrotter provides. So I have a background in accounting, so I went to Louisiana State University and studied accounting as my major and my minor in entrepreneurship, and I intentionally picked those disciplines as these are things that I still practice today.
Well, you always liked accounting. I feel like ever since we were kids, Firdaus was always like, I'm gonna record like all the amounts that everyone spends. I'm gonna be a bookkeeper. At that time, she just thought she's gonna be a bookkeeper. So accounting has always been something she's loved. In our house in Louisiana, she always keeps inventory of things. So I feel like accounting, record keeping, managing money has always been your second nature. So accounting wasn't just like, oh, I'm in it for the money. It was more of like your passion about it, right?
And not even specifically bookkeeping, just for me it was more so I love counting. It was just like the base was accounting. I like to count things, I like to keep track of things, organize things, and when I was a kid, I didn't really know the term accounting. It was just like I wanted to be a businesswoman, and for me accounting was something that I needed to learn to even be a better businesswoman.
Yeah, there you have it. And so did you have a job in Louisiana? Did you have some experience with accounting before coming to New York?
Yeah, definitely. I had done about 2 years plus doing revenue management in my alumni university, so that was really amazing to be in that workspace, learning with my team, contributing to the whole company, and just having that experience was really key for me moving here to New York.
All right, so when you moved to New York, how challenging will you say it was for you to land a job?
It took me a while, so I left in July and
2021 by
2021
the way.
Yeah, I left in 2021 of July, and I just got a full-time offer in May of 2022. So between that time, of course, I wasn't like jobless. I had multiple jobs. I wore many hats when I first came. Thanks to the community, our Muslim community there, alhamdulillah, were very intellectually like well connected. So actually you helped me out with getting a Sunday school job, so that was like a good starter to have, where I could contribute to the community but also get paid for it. So I teach Islamic studies, and I still do, and I love to do that, just teaching like the younger crowd, and that was like the first job that I had when I came here. And also LinkedIn, every time I'm back in the job market, I pay for the premium subscription, so that way I can tap into like exclusive people like directors, managers, hiring managers. That's like kind of my strategy. And so I had the Sunday school teaching I did, and then I did other works, and then later on between that time I joined a financial company, into it, and I basically joined them for their tax season, and that was a really nice experience, being able to work remotely. And it's temporary. It was a temporary role because it just needed me for tax, but it was something that I needed to survive here in this expensive city.
That's awesome. So I heard that you mentioned LinkedIn. Would you say that LinkedIn is the go-to resource for better success rates when it comes to getting a job?
Yeah, LinkedIn is like the most efficient option, because I had mistakenly used another service and it was like complete spam. Until today they still spam me. I have like spam recruiters reaching out and I have to tell them I'm not interested because I mistakenly like signed up for their like resume search and all of that. But LinkedIn is not spamish at all. LinkedIn has been very clean, efficient, real people that I've connected with. So LinkedIn is basically the social media for professional spaces.
And I just must add about LinkedIn, it's like there are strategies for reaching out to people on LinkedIn, connecting with people that you have similar backgrounds. Maybe you went to the same school, or you have similar communities that you see that they have as well as you, or maybe you did a professional program together. So I know people that are considering going to tech, maybe they went to certain boot camps and they're alumni and they can connect on that level. There are different ways of reaching out to these people and sending very key, efficient, effective message. You just don't say, hi, I'm looking for a job. No one's gonna answer you that way. I will put down in the link below very effective messaging that you can use. I've used that. Like the one I'm gonna put down is one that I've used that was very effective for me to connect to someone, that even if I didn't get a job with that company, at least it connected me with other people that could help as well. But the key is really connecting with people, networking. And I mean, just kind of going back to your experience, would you say like your skills are the ones, is what helped you get the job you have, or would you say networking was more important?
Yeah, I want to highlight some few things. Like, of course, it's really important to have people that have been there and done that. So like Karima, she's really good at researching. She's very experienced when it comes to like job search, like verbiage of how to sound professional, all of these things like that I would never think about. So it's been helpful to have her assist me in terms of how should I approach someone that's like a high level person, because behind the scenes of things that you don't see, she's reaching out to brands all the time. So that experience helps her to be able to give me advice on how to reach out to high level people that I need to get jobs. So that has been really helpful. So definitely check out those resources whenever she puts it out there, because it's helped me out a great deal. So in terms of like networking and skill sets, I think they both go hand in hand. Of course, you want to actually have substance, which is your skills, but also the networking part goes a long way, because when you interact with people and you talk to people and you share, so one of the tactics that I like to use when it comes to networking is having the mindset of going in of how can I help you, how can I add value to your life or your company, your organization. And with that mindset, I'm able to really connect deeply with people, and from there I can help you, you can help me, and we have a win-win relationship. So that's really the best tactics in my opinion, rather than hop in and trying to talk to everyone. Just focus on the key people, really connect. Sometimes you might just make a friend, sometimes you might have an interview from that, or sometimes you might have someone that can just be a cheerleader and someone that can support you in your journey.
Another thing else that is very important when you're coming to New York is have a goal of what type of budget you need to survive in the city, because having that idea helps you know what to ask for when you're looking for a job, or what your limit is, as long as you're not desperate and you know you're. Before even talking about desperation, have savings, please. Have an idea of what is the minimum I need to survive. What is the monthly minimum I need to survive? So when you're talking to a company, they say, well, our budget is 50,000. You're like, okay, at least I have an offer. And then you start struggling because you can't live like that. It's not worth it. So know what your budget is. So when companies are giving you an offer, you can counter offer and never accept the first offer, guys. Know your value. So kind of talking about that, Firdaus, tell us what is normal expected salary, base salary for someone just entering into finance in New York City.
Okay, I didn't confirm this like checked Google. I haven't asked Sheikh Google yet what the rates are, so but I can just go based off from my friends that are in finance. So I've heard like 75 has been like the base that I've heard.
75K by the way.
75K annually, and then it goes up from there. So in the company that I currently work with right now, the base pays around 85K annually, 90, 100, and it just goes up from there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, from what I've heard, of course I'm no longer in finance, but 95 is normal for starting in finance, but you know, there is also 75, which I guess is the lowest. I'm sure there's lower, but anyway, just something to keep in mind. And in New York City, if you have at least a bachelor's degree, I don't think you should accept less than 75, you know, if you can help it and you know you're confident to ask for what you deserve. But honestly, $50,000 a year in New York is a struggle. You're gonna struggle quite a bit, and live with multiple roommates. So if you want to live comfortably and have some savings, I would say consider 75,000 and above. I'll talk about that later, because especially if you're looking for an apartment, there's at least 80,000 for a one bedroom, $80,000 in salary to be able to have access to a one bedroom apartment. So it all connects, you know, to a lot of things, and the lifestyle that you do live. Yeah. There's one thing about Frida that's pretty fascinating, is that she loves to write things down, and if you go to her living room or her bedroom, you can see that she's written down the goals she has, plans to have, or her experiences. And in this case, when she moved to New York, she wrote down like how many jobs that she applied for, which jobs had interviews with her. Can you elaborate on that and, you know, tell us what the statistics was that?
Grab my phone
right,
because I wrote it down, so I'm gonna read it for you guys. Okay, so when I first moved to New York, it was July 2021, and I just got a job offer that I'm gonna start soon. That was recently, so May 2022. So you can do the math. That's like, it's less than a year, but it's still very close to a year. So like I mentioned earlier, before that time I did have like multiple jobs, but with this new job offer I can eliminate those multiple jobs and actually focus on a more full-time opportunity. But in that time frame, I had recorded all of my journey, because I was like, I like to keep records of everything. I keep my receipts, I keep records of anything that I do, and that's something that if you're, you know, everyone pays taxes, so definitely do that. It's very important. But anyways, besides the point, so I had applied to 124 companies plus or minus, and I had gotten interviews for about 35 out of the 125. That's like pretty low, but it's not easy sometimes. And I had gotten rejected 22 times, and out of those company pool, I've gotten 4 job offers, and out of those was ones that I was working multiple at the time, and then the 4th one is the one that I currently have that is a full-time job.
all right, there you have it, guys. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If you are moving from another state to New York City, this is an example of a route that you can take for applying for jobs. Everything we said can be applicable to any 9-to-5 job. Obviously consider the industry that you want to move into, but yeah, thank you for watching. This is Ferdal. She also is a fresh hibiscus tea owner. I'm going to put her link to her company down below. Check her out, and if you do have any questions regarding what we just talked about, looking for jobs, feel free to comment and ask in the comment section down below. Once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Ciao, hasta luego.